Star-Lord.
Finish him. Hadouken! Fatality.
And welcome to episode 46 of the Free Your Geek podcast. I am your host, Jay Free. In the studio, taking the place of KB, and wow, what a huge upgrade. We have from Whatever Bro Podcast, Whatever Bro Films, Scottie Medeiros.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening. Hey, you know what? I feel like a nerd right now. I feel like a geek. Do you know why?
Why?
So I'm the only motherfucker wearing headphones right now.
Yes, well, okay, hold on. I'll make you feel. There we go. There we go.
You don't have to wear them. I just thought you're supposed to wear the headphones on the podcast. What's?
Well, you might
you
wear
prefer
them on
what-
your pod. You can do whatever you want, man.
No, but you prefer it without?
I just feel it's more of a natural conversation this way, but whatever you want to do. And the Don returning, the People's Geek after a 2-week hiatus.
Wait, Don is the People's Geek? I
The
like
People's
that.
Geek, the People's Geek, you know.
Awesome.
So yeah, we're here rocking at 59 Media Studios. Couple things before we get into the crux of the show. This show is sponsored by Pachico's Furniture. You see their information scrolling on your screen right now at 663 Bedford Street in Fall River, Massachusetts. You see these guys are pointing at it. They're giving you exactly 50% off. Huge sale. Check them out. Second thing, which Scottie already alluded to, typically we're a PG-13 podcast. But you know what? Tonight, with what we're going to be talking about, this could be a little explicit. So if there's children watching, thank you.
No, I'll hold my F-bombs.
No, yeah, you don't have to.
It's a good
You
test
don't
for
have
me.
to. Yeah, well, okay, well, we'll test Scottie. But last time you were on the show,
I didn't, was it? You guys counted,
we
right?
counted. We had this is when we were audio only before we switched over to video, and we kept track. And I think there were like 11 or 12 F-bombs.
And that was
which
me trying
good,
as hard. Yeah,
which
that was
good.
me trying very hard not to curse. No Fs, no shits.
Well, you can. So basically on this podcast, because you can sparingly use the F-bomb. You can say everything else, but like the F and the C word. And that's
So wait, who makes these rules up? Do we have an FCC?
Well,
that
I look at it like this way.
A forever FCC.
Hey, buddy, what are you doing?
Hey, this guy.
You, sweat on the teeth,
You
baby.
can say the shits. You not say the. This is what we need Joe here because I can't.
Yeah,
do it good.
you can't
I
do
the
that
good
at all.
Portuguese. I'm not a good Portuguese accent guy.
Well, I'll say this. I'll look at it this way. Our topic today is favorite movie characters. How many movies, the movie rating system, an R-rated movie, a PG-13 rated movie, you can drop the occasional F-bomb,
Right.
and whatnot.
True,
So that's how I like
So
to
it's
look
like a
at it. A
PG-13
PG-13, yeah.
All right,
As
that's
long as
cool.
it's not too crazy.
No nipple. No nipple
Right.
can be shown.
Right. Which is a bummer for me because that's.
Ah.
But I want to just point out real quick. We're already getting some comments. John Viveris said, "Hey." On Facebook Live, and
he said, "Hey, wow, awesome comment, John.
He
Fantastic."
said, so Scottie, if you cannot tell, is a comedian with Whatever Bro Films. But I just wanted to point out John because he's got a picture of the recently departed Adam West. So we want to talk about
Whoa, I didn't know that.
You didn't know Adam West died?
When did he pass away? I only care because
you're killing Don.
I'm not the. I only know his voice because of the Family Guy.
So there was so he passed away a couple days ago. I think it was like on a Sunday or a Monday, a few days ago.
Old age.
He died from leukemia.
Oh,
88 years old.
Wow,
I
he was
think.
old as hell.
Yeah.
Damn.
But
And he played the original Batman.
the original,
in like the
well,
60s, right?
he played the first.
Yeah.
There were some Batmans in black and white shows, but he was my Batman. That's what got me in to this whole geekery area. It was him as Batman.
Him
so
and Batman, Nick at Night.
right,
Yep.
and as Adam West, the mayor of Family Guy, and Seth MacFarlane actually wrote a really nice tribute to
I'm
him.
sure he did because he was a very regular
Integral
part of that show.
part of that
Yeah.
show. So yeah, Seth MacFarlane had some very kind words. Kevin Smith, who worked with him a couple times, he actually had his podcast with another actor called Ralph Garman, who writes for Family Guy, and they actually had a pilot. They showed a scene from a pilot that they did back in the day, where it was a bit called West on West, where Adam West read dramatic readings of Kanye West raps. And
Really?
it was amazing.
Oh,
It was
that's
amazing.
sick.
So check that out if you haven't seen it. Kevin Smith's podcast. Go check that out. We get some other people commenting. Andrea, Megan, and Violet all saying hi.
It's the Scottie effect.
Yeah,
right there.
it's
definitely
we
the
call,
Scottie
yeah,
effect.
it's
I recognize some of them girls.
yeah.
Hey, keep watching. This is some fucking good.
Yes, there you go. One. That's one. No, it's okay. Keep it going. Keep it going. It's all good.
This is gonna be tough. Man.
Yeah, no. So for those that are new and are here because of Scottie, we tend to talk about all things that are considered geek. So essentially, you can be a geek for anything. If you have a love of cars or working out, you're a geek for that activity or any type of thing. So what we have going here is Scottie's a big fan of movies.
I'm a geek for movies.
He's a geek for movies.
time.
I am as well. Don, you are as well. We all have
Yeah.
different tastes. And that being said, Scotty was on one of our earlier shows when we were audio only, and we did our top 5
You guys
favorite
movies,
movie
right?
in every genre.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
So now we're going to switch it up a little bit, and we're going to talk favorite characters, and top 5 favorite characters in movies. So we got, and Megan K is saying horror movies.
oh man, that's a good point. None of mine on the list are from a horror movie.
Donna, any from yours?
No.
Wow. All right.
I
So
told you I had to go against what I
okay.
usually
So
go
so
for.
let's just do this before we even get into the crux and the meat and potatoes of the actual characters. Let's
me the
talk,
salad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do a
Awesome.
little.
I want the soup.
An appetizer. An
If
appetizer, if you
Red
will.
stick, if you will.
Yes. Let's talk some horror.
Yeah.
Characters in horror movies. I mean, you have the big villains, obviously.
Oof.
Well, that's the whole key to it right there. You just nailed it. In horror movies, what do you have for recurring characters? Unless we're talking about like teen scream flicks.
Scream. I was gonna say,
Those, yeah.
or the Halloween series.
Halloween series, yeah, but even she fell off.
Yeah.
And then
very
made
true.
her return in H2O.
But I don't think you have to be a recurring character to be an impactful character.
Just one on. If you're looking at like one horror movie that was great, you have to look at who was the best actor, and then who the best actor usually is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Is the horror Freddy or
Mhm.
Jason
Well,
or
actually, in horror movies, I'd say just about only Freddy is who you're getting personality from.
absolutely because like you have yeah,
Like, you know,
and then you have because Jason you never see his face, he never speaks.
Yeah.
Same thing with Michael Myers,
Yeah.
but they were badass.
Leatherface.
Leatherface, yeah. That's a tough one. Yeah, see, horror movies I enjoy, but I don't think there's very many like outstanding cast members
No.
that really like steal the show. It's the horror of the film that steals the show for horror movies.
On Facebook Live, Megan K is saying Jigsaw. What are our thoughts on Jigsaw?
It was pretty, in my opinion, pretty cool, pretty badass, pretty different. I like the whole Saw series, except for when it got to Saw 4, because Saw 4 started and it like.
timeline.
It screwed me all up because Saw 4 started. I believe the first scene is from the first scene in the first one, and I was like, "What's going on?" I rewound.
Oh yeah, it goes
you know,
back to Dr. Lawrence.
yes, and I couldn't. I swear to God, I tried watching it like 2 or 3 times, and that just the beginning was like, "I don't get this," so I'm done, and I killed it.
Oh.
I went from 1 to 3. I never saw the Saw 3D or 5 or whatever.
Well, if you were to watch 5 takes place in the same exact time as 3. They happen in like
They happen simultaneously.
simultaneously,
So where does 4 go?
concurrent. 4 is
It's been a while.
the intro to the cop. The intro to the cop being the bad guy comes in 4.
Okay,
you know
was
what I
that
mean?
was that Wahlberg's brother or am I?
No, wait.
He was in one of them.
Wahlberg's.
Donnie Wahlberg was in one
was
of 'em.
Part 1. Yeah, he was the
Was he part 1 or was he
No,
part 2?
it's
I
part
think he was
2.
part. Wasn't it his son that
Remember,
was in the
he's
safe?
Part 2 was in the safe. Oh yeah,
And he's in the ice
yeah,
block.
yeah.
Remember the ice block where he's standing on ice and it's melting and he's hanging? Yeah, man, this goes back, dude.
Damn.
Saw.
This girl throwing Candyman out there, man. That's what's up, man. That movie
Candyman.
was one of the first movies that have me shook.
See, I never
Yeah.
saw Candyman.
What?
I know. I never saw. Is that like kind of like
You
Boogeyman type thing?
Nah, you need to look in the mirror 3 times, say Candyman, Candyman, and I won't say it for the 3rd time just in
Nah,
case.
just in
That's
case that's just
right.
real.
This dude was like from the slavery days. He was hooking up with a white chick, so like the slave master found out, cut his hand off, stuck some honey and bees.
Oh,
and
so he was tormented
gave him a
soul.
hook, and that's it, man. He's the Candyman.
I
now.
gotta go watch Candyman.
Oh man, and then he gets some white chick all messed up in the mix. Oh, it's crazy. You need to watch.
Yeah, we
that.
got racism and anger and
You know
fear.
what? You know what name I like to say 3 times? Beetlejuice.
Hey,
That's only once.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Beetlejuice.
all right, that's it. You guys are all gonna.
But we none of us have favorite characters, or at least we didn't think of a horror movie
Yeah.
genre for favorite characters. So let's basically the whole thing of this episode is one gigantic. Yeah, you have something to say
real
now.
quick.
Yeah, go for
you
it.
know a really powerful character in horror movies, which I didn't even think of until now. The lady who would say, "Caroline, come back to me, Caroline." Poltergeist.
Oh,
Wow.
the little old lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
This house is clear.
All right. Yeah. They did a reboot of that. It was all right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay. Nothing. You can't reboot something
Nope.
like that. I guess you could say though, while we conclude with this,
Yeah.
is the one. I'm sorry, the best horror movie ever to be made was The Exorcist, and the chick in that movie, the young girl. I don't know her name, but I know she had a lot of makeup on, but. Dude, that was like that was
Yep.
like I wasn't around in the 70s, but I know people in the theater going, what's going on? And they're
Especially when the crucifix comes out.
oh,
Let Jesus.
yeah. Oh, that was rough. I've actually watched that recently, and it's still very, very, very good.
He comes
fantastic.
home like bored. It's Saturday night, nothing
Yeah.
going on. Let's just throw that scene
Yeah,
on.
fast forward the first 45 minutes because it's all crap, and let's get to the good stuff.
Right,
Well, it's funny,
45
on-
minutes, 17 seconds, and, there it
and then
is.
we're in.
Boom.
Violet has a similar comment on Facebook Live. She said she watched Candyman at her first sleepover as a kid. She had nightmares for months.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about horror. Like, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we did our horror show. Like, my first introduction to like Jason and Freddy Nightmares and the Friday the 13th movies were all the reruns on the like USA Network on.
So you get
So it's
the-
like I get like the edited like
Just
soft
commercial
version.
breaks when you're nervous.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
didn't get the full impact of it, and like rewatching it now, I'm like I can appreciate it
You know
for a
what's
lot
crazy?
more.
Like I think of when I watched Candyman, and I was a child, and I watched it with my parents, and they let me sit there and watch this like horrifying movie of like people being mutilated, and
Well, you got terrible parents. is
Yeah,
what
I mean,
the-
thanks, mom.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, but I had, my parents didn't let me watch it, and now I'm sitting here Candymanless. I never watched
Right.
it,
That's it.
and I'm kind of upset about
So we're gonna have a movie night.
Woo,
Yeah.
And we're gonna
Candyman.
invite Scotty. We're
it. You
gonna
bring the
watch-
popcorn, dude.
Violet can't come because she won't sleep for a month.
Right, exactly. We don't want to do that.
No,
we
wait,
don't want to
Violet
do
can
that.
come. You can
Oh,
come.
okay,
No,
yeah,
that's
it'll
cool.
keep you warm.
Yeah, we need, if we get nervous and scared,
There you go. Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Yes.
We call this segment the final countdown.
It's the final countdown. The final countdown.
So, the final countdown, where we rank our top whatever number of favorites in this category, which is why we have Scotty on, and we're happy to have him on. It's our top 5 favorite movie characters. So we're going to start with number 5. We're all going to go down the line, then go to number 4, number 3, so forth and so on. Hopefully, lead to some good discussion.
and no genres here, right?
And,
We're just
and
like,
no, I separated mine by genre.
I
with the-
kind of did too.
So, but we can start straight up. Don, do you want to kick us off at your number 5?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go for it, bro.
My number 5 is played by John Leguizamo in 1992.
Are we talking about Mario Brothers?
He ruined it. It was a joke anyway. No.
Shit! I ruined your joke.
It happens.
That's all I could think about him playing back then. With Mario Brothers. Fantastic
It's
film.
Luigi, Mario, Mario, Mario. Hey, what do you want?
Fantastic film.
All right. Oh man. So anyway, the show's Free a Geek. So my first character is one of those classic '80s movies geeks, but at the same time, real cool dude. Got to roll around with Doc Emmett Brown, talking about Marty McFly.
Ooh!
Killing
Coming,
it.
coming out the
That's it,
gate.
You know what I mean? Like coming out LeBron
Swinging,
style, losing a
swinging.
game like that.
Wow, dude! I actually had come across that in my travels when I was thinking of top 5, and
Yeah.
I was like, can't fit him in here, but damn, that was great. Especially the first 2 movies. I didn't like the third one.
Yeah, the third one fell off with the hoverboard, man.
Oh,
Whew.
fantastic! And they bring it all back in the part 2. Yeah, Marty McFly was a bad dude,
Yeah. Besides his like creepiness with his mom, he was a pretty badass.
and he made it like it was more like. He wasn't. He did that correctly. It was more the creepiness of the
Of the-
situation. He was
yeah,
good. He
yeah,
was good. He was
you
kind of
know
just
what,
like
you
Ma.
know.
Like it was her that was the creep.
I know that.
She was hitting on her son. Yeah, he was. He brought a lot to that role. I mean, like you could relate to him. He's a cool dude,
Yeah.
young kid, and he all the questions you asked when that movie was going, he asked for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. Marty McFly, Back to the Future. You like 1 or 2 better?
That's tough. I like 2 better actually. I like
Let's
that.
see the future.
Yeah, and
That's it.
don't we all want to be Biff with the sports almanac and be able to go back and make
100%.
some money?
I think I like the 2 better too. I do. They're both freaking awesome. Every time they come on
Yeah.
like 1, 2, and 3. I watch first 2, and then I get through like 10 minutes of the third one.
And yeah, it's
And,
like,
like-
I don't really care about cowboys and Indians
No.
right now. I'll watch Westworld if I need that. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
But that's a Marty McFly, bad dude. He had the remember in the future too when he sees himself and he plays himself, but
Oh.
in the future he's more of like a loser.
He's like fat.
Yeah.
He gets his little like Papagino's pizza, throws it in the
Yeah,
microwave,
that's
comes
right,
out
yeah.
huge.
Oh man, that movie was actually ahead of its time, man.
Yeah.
There was actually some good references to future like possibilities in there too.
And then the Cubbies win, what, 2 years after
That's
the
right.
movie predicted, or the year after the movie predicted?
Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that was
Creepy.
Nostradamus over here.
yeah.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
That's a great pick. Scotty, you're number
Yes.
5.
All right, so most of the stuff I picked was like drama and like action, so I tried to mix it up a little, and I thought of this one. I specialize in comedy, so I said, "What's some good comedy right away?" First of all, Jim Carrey, I think is the funniest human being on the planet. My opinion. Ace Ventura.
Oh.
I just think this character, which by the way, 1 and 2 were just as good.
Yeah.
You could make any case for either
The
one.
scene with the rhino.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
My father and I watched that scene where he's sticking his head. If you haven't seen this, by the way, you need to watch Ace Ventura 1 and 2, Pet Detective and When Nature Calls. He's sweating. I'm going to actually explain for the fan who don't know.
Go for it.
In part 2, he is he is trying to spy, and he's on what do you call that when you go for a not a nature
Safari?
So he's in the middle of a safari with animals, but he's in this fake mechanical rhinoceros. And he's trying to, I forget what he's even trying to look at. Doesn't matter.
He's trying to figure out where the feather comes from.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. All right. So he's trying to figure out, he's a detective. He's a pet detective trying to figure out animal stuff. But he's in this rhino, and it starts to get hot, so he's got this fan. And the fan goes off. And Ace Ventura, with both movies, he can just capture you without even speaking, just like his movements. And you remember the fan goes off, and he's like, and the fan goes off, so now he's sweating his ass off, dude. And the next scene, his legs go up, and his underwear comes out, and he's
drenching. Yeah.
so he's butt naked. Now he is sweating profusely to the point where he needs to get out of this rhino. So he's like poking a hole outside the rhino, just trying to get out. But when you see the scene from the outside, he's actually poking the butt. So it looks like, and then he's like, and it looks like they're like, oh, the rhino's giving birth, and he's naked, so he comes out covered in sweat. Unbelievable. I think every scene of both of those movies, he absolutely steals it to the point where it's like, how is this dude human? You know what I mean? I think Ace Ventura, best comedic character I've ever seen.
He's got so many good lines, so many the laces were out. I still use that today.
Everyone does.
Yeah, exactly. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Much.
Alrighty, and it's the way he can, transform his face. I don't know. I just think he's so
Oh,
talented.
he's a very, very, very talented.
I know it's not going to be on anybody's, but honorable mention Jim Carrey is Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh my God, that was actually his last great comedy.
That was epic, yeah.
That one, and Dumb and Dumber was my honorable mention for that too. But yeah, that was Me, Myself, and Irene was his last awesome comedy where I think he just got burnt out.
And then he's like, I'm gonna do the number 23 now.
And change everything.
Everyone's like,
Hey, but the number 23 was different. I liked it. It was
love that
totally
movie.
outside of his
Damn good
comedy,
movie.
and he
but
nailed it.
He damn good movie. I miss him. I miss him in comedy.
well,
He's just not the same anymore.
it's funny you say that because I'll go into my honorable mention because I'll do the category of comedy right now too. My honorable mention is kind of the same idea. Mike Myers as Austin Powers, I think was great character as far as all the setup with the scenes where you think certain, like even the opening scene where he's going naked and they have all these things covering his junk, very
Smart stuff.
very similar. But my number 5, to your point, your honorable mention is Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber.
There you go.
I love Jim Carrey as well. I'm
You have a
wearing
nice
it.
set of Hooters.
right.
The owls. They're beautiful.
My
yeah.
T-shirt says "I got worms," Providence, Rhode Island.
I got worms. Yep.
So
Representing.
Yeah.
Double number one.
My favorite line though is when he leaves that 7-Eleven, sees these two guys just chilling on the sidewalk. He goes, "Hey guys, whoa, big gulps, huh? All right, see you later."
I literally say all the time when I get into a conversation with somebody and it's going awkward, I just go, "Well, see you later." Just from that movie. I mean, it's
So many good lines. I love
Samsonite.
Start with an S though. What is it? The Beatles. They're talking about the Monkees, and they were a huge influence on the Beatles.
Yeah.
We landed on the moon. I just thought she was a raging alcoholic.
Who comes to a bar? Who meets a girl at a bar at 10 a.m.? I just thought she was a raging alcoholic.
Just the writing was so good.
Yeah.
And then
Farley Brothers.
What breaks my heart is they did the sequel.
No, don't say it.
And okay, I won't get into because I know.
Can we knock? Ooh.
It's-
How bad did that hurt you?
It did. There was one funny joke in that whole movie,
Yep.
and I felt like
That was so difficult to watch. Them old as hell, looking gross, and trying to do the same types of jokes that worked.
Regurgitate it, yeah.
It was like, yo, I was so surprised. I'm like, if you want to do this, you need to write the script as 2014
Yeah.
or not 1990.
Shit, yeah.
It was unbelievable to me. I was like, what are you doing? And I honestly figured Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey was smart enough to be like, dude, we're not gonna do this crap.
I think they just like, hey, it's a paycheck, and
I just feel like they should.
We get to work
I
together
feel like
again.
they're better than that, though. Like I feel like part of the reason we didn't see it for so long is because they were like, we're not gonna do it unless it's right.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
then
know.
after you already ruined it with Dumber and
Oh,
Dumber.
Dumb and Dumberer. Yeah, with two
like,
different guys.
Come
Yeah,
on.
that was bad.
so
But yeah, Dumb and Dumber revolutionary movie.
that's
Lloyd
my number
Christmas.
5. I think Lloyd Christmas is just an amazing character as
Beast.
far as comedy goes. Before we get into number 4, I just want to say what's up to John, saying hello, regular viewer of the show.
Hey, John.
Thanks for joining us. Make sure you share this again. We're doing that contest. Anyone that shares any of our videos the month of June, I bought a bunch of stuff through Newberry Comics. It's over $105 worth of stuff, and we're going to pick one winner out and send them a loot crate, a geek crate of all For Your
Great.
Geek stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we got some stuff going on there. Moving on to number 4. Don, you're number 4.
Number 4. So this movie, I remember I got my first DVD. Well, my parents got their first DVD player, and I watched this movie after like knowing nothing about it, and then watched it like 20 times that following week. So my number 4 character is probably one of the most badass characters who's ever been in any movie, and I would love to see him go toe to toe with any other badass character you guys got.
Ooh.
My character asked the question, "Are you not entertained?"
Oh my God. The
Maximus Decimus Meridius just beasting.
the best movie
Whew.
he ever was in by far.
Ever.
Matter of fact, the only movie I enjoy watching him in is that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I got so engulfed in that movie. I was like, you know what? I'd die on his side if I had to. Go. Be in the arena. But I love that movie so much because you get to see like the war aspect in the beginning. Then you get to move on and see him being broken down and then rebuilt up again. And at the same time, like our hero Maximus is being rebuilt. The emperor, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Yeah, it was
Caesar. The Caesar.
Yes.
He, kind of like ruined everything that his father had set up beforehand. And I always get so pissed off because I'm always like, if he would have just told somebody like, hey, this guy's about to die and he's saying that I'm in control right now, just tell one person, then it would, I always say this, but then, Beth will always tell me, well, then it wouldn't be a movie. So
I know, yeah,
there
you need
go.
some things to not
Yeah.
work out. What was his name in it? What's the actor's name? Russell Crowe, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't like watching him in any other movie.
There's
Other than
only
that one.
other movie that he's actually good in. I enjoy the movie, so I enjoy his character in it. Is him and Denzel Washington.
American Gangster.
American Gangster.
See, I didn't like him. I don't like him, and
because he took down Denzel. you
no,
don't
I
like
just
him?
I don't like him as an actor usually. But
Yeah.
that movie is just. By the way, we didn't even say the fucking name of the
That's all right. That's all right. Just keep going, bro. It's a good
Gladiator.
It's a good test. It's a good test. I like it.
I'm on 2 F-bombs right now.
Right.
But
right.
like Gladiator, I just feel like he was just there was nobody that could play the part like he did.
And then I think like he set the bar so high for himself, like that you almost wanted to see him in those movies.
I agree.
Do you remember when like Mel Gibson did like The Patriot and he did Braveheart, and it's like, oh, this is what Mel Gibson does now. Like this is
And then
This is his genre that he.
yeah.
think about it, yeah. And when you nail something that,
You want
how do you live up to that?
What do you do? Like A Beautiful Mind? Like anything else after that?
He
Like,
did
really wasn't-
he did like a lot of stupid movies too, and he did what girls want. Remember there was some
Oh, we're
stupid.
talking about Mel Gibson now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was talking about because I was a Braveheart. But yeah, Russell Crowe was in A Beautiful
Oh,
Mind. Yeah,
man, that's
I just
crazy.
never Russell Crowe. Just never did it for me, man. I don't know. But that movie Gladiator, that's on every week on one of the stations,
it is,
dude.
yeah.
Amazing. I'll say a guy who I go. I'm gonna give an honorable mention to that. A guy who, if I had to go have somebody go toe to toe with him, it made me think would be Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator.
Oh man,
What a bad dude.
Dude, his son, his shield against an android. Like what the hell is that?
He's a machine. No, well, it popped into my head. I was like,
Oh,
I still feel like the Gladiator could maybe
Yeah.
put up a good fight though. I'll say so. This character for me, I used to watch this on VHS, and I used to watch it every day as a kid, like 11, every day. It was like ridiculous. I was obsessed, and this was an actor who we all thought was just a comedian, and we thought, man, this guy's awesome. He's a black comedian.
Oh, all right.
I'm sorry, he's not a comedian. He's a black actor who did a show, which was comedy that every teenager grew up watching,
All that.
and he did a film called Bad Boys.
Oh.
Will Mother Beep Smith came into the scene on this movie. Now, this is right after. Now, this is actually, they filmed Bad Boys during the last season, I believe the last season of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because here's how I know this, too. There's an episode in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where, for the first time ever, Will Smith has a goatee. And I always said to myself as a kid, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Not only does he have a goatee, the whole episode took place on this weird set. It wasn't at home. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
he taped the episode.
what happened was, I think he was filming Bad Boys when that episode was being filmed, so he had to do it like at the same. You know what I mean?
That's awesome though.
Yeah. So what happened was we all thought, oh, Will Smith's this funny rapper, hilarious. We love him. He's lovable. He came into Bad Boys, dude. And when that movie was over, people said, holy this dude's going to be a star.
Yeah.
And there's a scene, actually, where he's in Bad Boys. Which I'm obsessed with every line in that movie from him. And most of it has the F word in it. But it was so sick between him and Martin. But there was a scene where Will Smith is running. He's got his shirt, a button shirt off, so he's ripped. You see him ripped. He's running, and it's slow motion, and you just go, this dude's a star. And it was
right.
like, what a breakout performance for him.
And then what about the follow-up? I'm not even talking about Bad Boys 2. I'm talking about Independence Day.
Unbelievable. Oh, my
Rolls
God.
in right after that.
Oh, yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's when you knew, you're like, this guy is
that's
going to be
it.
the man. Welcome to Earth. Yeah.
Boom.
That was, so he's my badass dude of the century. Growing up, loved him.
I believe, to your point as well, there was an episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Nikki, the youngest child, mentioned something about Bad Boys. I think he mentioned something about.
I don't know because
I'm gonna have to look it up.
You know
but
what
I
else
think,
is
I think
ironic
you're
about
right.
that? Little Nicky is in Independence Day
As
as
his
his
son.
stepson. His
Yeah.
stepson. Yeah, he's
Oh,
Vivica
yeah.
A. Fox's kid. Yeah. He's in
Here's
there.
a
Isn't that
fun
crazy?
fact.
Up on that,
You know
yeah.
Will Smith was just like, yo, this kid, he's
Yeah,
on
he's
my
with
Fresh
me.
Prince. Give him a chance. Let
Yeah.
him go. Yeah, dude. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
well,
who's
my-
going again? Who do you got going against Dax? Well, how do you
Well,
say his name?
It's funny
Meridius.
because
Oh, Maximus Decimus
Meridius.
Meridius.
we were talking a little bit about being Nostradamus. I think Scotty needs to start giving me some lottery numbers because my action star is the Cyberdyne Systems Model 101, the T800 Terminator, specifically Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I
Oh,
just
of
think
course.
that is an amazing character. Him flipping the script, he was the villain in the first one, becomes the hero in the second one.
That was
And an
second
honorable
one.
mention, we mentioned her last week when we talked about badass women. Sarah Connor, I think, is another great
She
character.
was sick. That's right, man.
She just balls
She
to the
breaks
wall.
out. She
I
breaks
love
out.
the shotgun, one hand.
Yeah, dude.
Boom.
She was a bad chick. That's right. And she
So-
was ripped out of her mind, smoking
Yep.
butts, flipping out. Yeah, she was nuts, dude.
She didn't even make sense. She was crazy.
That was great. You say Terminator 2 because nobody watched Terminator 1. Nobody. I mean, I didn't.
I didn't watch.
I didn't even know it
Terminator 1
existed.
until
Until
Judgment
after
Day.
Terminator, yeah.
Yeah.
But I love some of the quotes from there. Of course, the iconic "Come with me if you want to live" when he's saving John Connor or Sarah Connor.
Yep.
And then he goes to John Connor. He goes, "My mission is to protect you." And John goes, "Yeah, who sent you? You did. 35 years from now, you reprogram me to be your protector here in this time." And it's just
Still a
such-
genius storyline.
It's a mind f. Like, I'm doing something in the future to protect my past. Going back to the Future, the references and whatnot too.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool storyline, and Schwarzenegger just kills it.
Nails it, man. Kills that.
So that's my number 4. We're moving on to number 3.
Number 3. All right. Well, this
gotta take a look.
specific character right here probably couldn't hold his own with any of the people we've named, unless they were going to find a hidden artifact. And if they were going to find a hidden artifact, they would do it with style, like Indiana Jones.
I was
Because-
wow.
he was an honorable mention.
Oh my God! I mean,
Came out of nowhere with that
would,
one.
Everybody knows I love Star Wars, but on the other end of that, I also love Indiana Jones. You know what I mean? Like Harrison Ford was probably like who I wanted to be as a child. Like I just wanted to grow up, get on Air Force One, get off my plane. You know what I mean? I wanted to
Yeah.
just go crazy. And all
He was
that.
the man's man.
He was.
Yeah, he was
definitely.
awesome.
But Indiana Jones, like specifically the last. I mean, I love all the Indiana Jones movies minus Shia LaBeouf movie, but the Last Crusade was beast. Like you know what I mean? Like I grew up. I went to Catholic school and everything, so I had all that like God stuff, smashed into me.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah.
8 years of it.
So yeah, same thing. So seeing them find the Holy Grail that Jesus used at the Last Supper, that was really interesting to me. And then they find it, and of course, the Nazis were always against them, and it's good stuff.
Yeah,
I
see, Indiana Jones wouldn't be able to kick like Gladiator's ass or
No.
Terminator or even Mike Lowry's, but
I don't even
He's-
think he'd take Jim Carrey down. I don't know, you know?
he was more about just
he's
finding
suave
stuff.
though.
Yeah.
He's slick.
Yeah.
And
He you'd beat him up, but then you realize, oh my God, my girl's been banging him for 2 weeks. This
Yeah,
is
like,
unbelievable.
Damn,
yeah,
like
yeah.
he really subliminally got me. Like what the hell?
I would say one honorable mention I wanted to go with right now would be Bruce Willis in Die Hard.
Oh,
John
McClane.
John
McClane.
McClane.
Wow.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother what?
I don't know. Mother, father, I believe.
Mother's father.
He was an animal. I think there's no other character we've ever seen like that gets that beat up, that dirty, smokes butts, has a gun in his hand, and is just like, hey.
Good about 75 pieces of glass in his
Yeah,
foot,
yeah,
you
his
know,
feet.
bare
Yeah,
feet.
and it's just he looked so good at just getting the crap kicked out of him, but still being like you were just like, yeah, he's coming out of it. He's coming out of it. He's a man's man, dude. You got to kill him. He was an animal.
Yo, you know what I love too? In the third one, him and Samuel L.
Die Hard
Jackson,
with a Vengeance,
where he's like,
which is the best
hey,
one, by
Zeus,
the way.
Hey Zeus, hey Zeus. He's like,
Do I look Puerto Rican to you? Yeah. And he goes, I heard a guy over there said, hey, Zeus. He goes, no. He said, hey, Zeus, as in mother of Apollo. Dude, that movie is awesome, man.
like I will light your ass up
Yeah.
with a thunderbolt.
Zeus, mother. Yeah. I thought Die Hard with a Vengeance was actually better than part one. Die Hard 2 was a complete bust, but
Yeah, but
Die Hard with a Vengeance, if you've never seen it, goes underrated. I have it on my DVR. I have like my
It's
DVR.
beast.
Unbelievable movie. To see him and Samuel L., just them two,
Yeah.
go at it because Samuel L. Jackson thinks every white person's racist. So you see them battle with it, and he's just like, bro, I'm not racist, but I need your fucking help. Like,
yeah,
oh,
let's
there
go.
it is.
I got him. I knew if you could bring up Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah.
we'll get him rolling.
You talk about Die Hard with a Vengeance, I have to swear.
That's all good.
All right, so my number 3, got to look at the cheat sheet here. What's my number 3?
Well, while he's doing that, I'll just give a shout out to Lee, who says Kindergarten Cop is the best Arnold movie.
All right, hey,
that's
Lee.
why you're
Hey,
there,
ready?
and
I'm
we're
gonna hook
here.
You up. So kindergarten cop. So, I'm in 3rd grade. Kindergarten Cop comes out. How do I know like that specifically? Because this girl I went to school with asked me on a date in 3rd grade, and we went and watched Kindergarten Cop.
No way.
We went and watched Kindergarten Cop. Yo, my mom and
Wow.
her mom sat like 10 rows back.
That's awesome.
And we sat there and watched.
How funny,
Kindergarten Cop.
awkward was it when the part goes, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. You guys must have been like, oh, what's that? Your parents like, Jesus. This thing was
Oh,
PG.
man.
My number 3, I went and I wanted to put a female in here because
Nice.
there's some female performances that really stick with me, and one of which, this is probably come out of left field, was Sharon Stone in Casino.
Oh
Because
my God, I'd strangle her.
exactly, and that is why she made you hate this bitch so much. She was such like that typical gold digging bitch. Sorry, I have to.
Yeah, it's okay.
But she played it so well that you hated her to the point where you're like, if I meet this girl in person, I know she's an actress, I still want to stab her. Like,
Yeah.
she was so good at just making the movie like, oh my God, this girl is ruining everything. And it made Robert De Niro have to, adjust and play off her, and she's flipping out. Oh, that I just thought she was a really badass character who brought it. She was like a drug addict, hooker, just straight home wrecker.
Just spun out
Yeah.
over her pimp too.
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
she
And
was-
she'd always go back to her,
yeah.
the pimp.
James
dude,
Woods.
James Woods.
Oh man.
Oh, that was, yeah.
That was before you opened the high school.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I had to give it to Sharon Stone though. She kicked some major ass on that one.
So the best thing, best line in that movie is like, is this your pen? Is this your pen?
Oh,
Oh,
he's
my-
getting
my
mixed
friend-
up. He's getting mixed up. That's good, fellas.
No, that's not.
Is it
that
Casino? No,
No,
it's gotta
wait,
be.
wait. No, wait. Hold on, no. I did. I mixed both of them up. This is the best part in that movie.
All right,
is,
all right.
Oh, I gotta drop some bombs here.
Go for it.
He's like, did you call my friend a faggot and tell him to go fuck himself? Boom!
Yeah.
Boom! Boom! Beats him up with
Little
the
Joe Pesci, yeah.
Beating up the guy. Like,
Hey, I'm sorry, Sam. He's very sorry. He'll never do it again. If you just let him back in.
just come on.
He was like, Sam, hold on. Did you call my friend a faggot? And then what? Did you put your fucking boots on the table? I'm sorry, a lot of that, but you had to for that.
No, it's
Put the kids to bed when Casino's on.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
This is free your bleeping geek
Oh,
episode.
man.
46.
But hey, on the note of Goodfellas,
The pen.
Go get your shine box now. I'm
Yeah.
telling
Oh
you.
man, he stabbed him with a pen 17 times in the neck, and I was like, Joe Pesci's a bad dude. He's honorable mention, by the way, in here.
Joe Pesci's
I have
just
him.
a monster.
Yeah, he was.
Him and Danny DeVito should do a show.
I know. What you got, man? What's number
Well,
three?
I got a quick honorable mention now that I was thinking about it too. You guys ever see Taxi Driver?
Are we talking about with
De Niro.
De Niro.
yeah.
So I saw like half of it. Too old for me, and I couldn't really get into it. But I know you didn't you win like an award for that?
Travis Bickle, like kind of like how he like turns like vigilante, like
Like-
totally crazy, like how he just like everything just him against the world, and just very powerful acted. But that's just because I was just thinking that we were talking action. I'm gonna switch it up now. I'm gonna go animated.
Ooh,
Character.
yes. I thought
I
about
was
this.
gonna do that too.
I couldn't think of one that really stuck out to me.
I'm gonna go with a character, and I'm not gonna sing it, but he basically sings "Riff Raff, Street Rat. I don't buy that."
I
Aladdin.
know that.
If only they had looked closer, would they see a poor boy? No, siree. They'd find out there's so much,
Much
more.
more to me.
So you have a better voice,
Aladdin.
bro.
Aladdin, dude.
I think as a character, like he basically just wants to win the heart of this girl. He's willing to change himself. He forms this friendship, and basically he doesn't go back on his word. He promises to free the genie, and then later on, when he realizes he could have
getting
everything he
I'm
wants,
getting him.
okay. Oh, good.
I'm going after you with
Good.
this.
Go for it.
You're
Go for
gonna
it.
tell me
Yes.
Aladdin is a better character than the genie? Come on.
That's a good point.
No.
That's Robin Williams.
Yeah.
That was my man. If you're
Okay.
gonna go Aladdin, you gotta go.
Okay.
I can't believe it. I'm losing to a rug. I
That's-
mean that for me, Aladdin. That by the way,
You know
I'm
what?
glad you said Aladdin though, because that was my favorite. Still is my favorite.
It's my favorite.
animated-
It's my favorite Disney movie.
favorite Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
I gotta go
absolutely.
Hercules.
Hercules is good too,
I don't even think I ever saw that.
but I want to go just so.
So that's Cinderella.
Okay, so you know what? I'll rescind. I'll agree. Let's say, the genie's up there too. Yeah, the genie has to be because you're right. But I just kind of like Aladdin is for the fact that, basically he does stick to his word when he has the chance to get everything he wanted.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, but I made a promise to you, and I got to be true to who I am, and I can't be this fake person that just to get what I want.
And on top of it, the genie's telling him, "Hey, wish for it. Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
but that's to Scotty's point. That
Yeah.
again talks about the character of the genie, where he's been trapped for whatever 10,000 years, and he could be freed, but he's just like, no, like
You just
get-
got a crush on Princess Jasmine.
That's
Who
also
doesn't?
True. That's also true.
Who doesn't?
Are you gonna hit me with a dazzle line?
Yeah, you know what?
So it's an ongoing joke that there's an X-Men character who's like one of the worst called the Dazzler, and she's like this go-go disco girl, and Kevin and Don always say that I'm like in love with her, but Jasmine does trump her, I have to say. 'cause-
I would.
She
If
does.
you had to smash one animated girl,
I mean, if
Princess
we're
Jasmine.
talking about Disney princesses here, you know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta
Jasmine.
marry
Jasmine.
one, kill one, and boink the other one. Who do you guys got?
I want to marry, kill, and boink Jasmine.
all at the same time.
Yeah.
All at the same
in
time.
one night,
Marry her as he's boinking her, and then
and then
throws her off the
that's it.
balcony.
Oh,
No magic carpet to
no
save her.
magic.
Yeah.
Also, as far as animated though, I also want to give another honorable mention because it just popped in my head. South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. Those characters just hilarious. I think that, and then Team America: World Police, another great.
That movie was awesome.
Yeah, some good characters in both those flicks. From
Absolutely.
I think Saddam Hussein was the best character in that movie.
Hey, guy.
He
Hey,
had
guy.
he had a little. I can't say
Kielbasa?
that. on the
A
air.
little kielbasa.
You had a fake sausage, huh?
Yeah, that's very true. So tons of animated characters, but yeah, to me, and to your point, Scotty, you're right. I'm glad you called me out on that.
Genie was.
Genie has to
Jeez.
trump Aladdin, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. So okay, moving on to number 2.
Here we go. We're getting down here now.
All right, so number 2. All right, so number 2 is not the main character of the movie, but he is fully in the entire trilogy of this. I'm just gonna get into it anyway.
Go.
Number 2 is from The Matrix. We're not talking about the one Neo. We're talking about the teacher Morpheus. At first when you watch the movie, like, oh man, Morpheus is who you want to be. He's like kicking ass left and right. He's like really, helping Neo come along, and like he's the one that you look to. And then like instantly, as soon as Neo realizes he's the one, like Morpheus gets put on the back burner. But that doesn't stop him from having one of the best fight scenes ever, from the keymakers out of the house, on the highway, all that craziness. Morpheus is
You're
probably-
bringing the other two in. Are you talking about the other two also? Like the second
Oh
one?
yeah, I'm just
Okay.
going straight to
Okay.
Morpheus because realistically, Trinity dies. She don't get, she doesn't get to see the revolution.
Mhm.
Neo does what he has to do to end it. Morpheus is the only one who gets to see the peace, and you can just tell in that one scene where he's like, he puts down his gun and he's walking, and the machines are floating. He's like, we did it.
Like that's what everything
yeah.
was for.
Exactly.
Mm.
He's the only one who got to see from start, or his start to finish.
Other than Neo.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was awesome in that too, because he kept the character alive by training him and teaching him and telling the audience. I look at it from that perspective. He has to tell the audience what the Matrix is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he does a good. It's a good that you brought that up, because there's a couple. Now I watched 2 and 3 like once or twice.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. It was tough for me.
Yeah, the first one holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
I love it, but I agree. I watched
got
the
stuck.
second one.
I got stuck. I don't give movies a chance a lot too. So
Yeah.
if I get a little stuck, I'm just like bye. But anyway, there's the major scene where the blue and red pill, where he's explaining to you when he takes the pill and he explains the Matrix to us.
Yeah.
I just thought that was like, he gets a lot on his shoulders because this is a really hard movie to explain. Even when you try to explain to your friends, it's tough to do.
I mean, but it's not as bad as Inception.
No, Inception, by the way, was too difficult.
Yeah.
And it was it's almost, it got to a point where I was watching, it's like, come on, dude. This is too much for even a very smart person. I'm like kind of smart and I can't figure this
You ever
out.
watch Rick and Morty?
No, is it
There's
the
an
Comedy
episode
Central?
that they fall into the Inception thing.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
It's just, it got to a point where it's like, dude, I'm going to have to watch this 40 times just to process from beginning to end. And then you have like the Asian guy who he's like, gives like key important plot holes and he totally decent for you. And I'm like, dude, I need to know. I'm going to have to watch the subtitles now.
That's it.
Yeah, but good one with the Matrix. Hell, I got
Morpheus, yeah.
I got so my number one, I feel like we're all gonna have the same one for number one.
But I don't know about that.
All right, so this is one I'm surprised you guys didn't say yet. Iron Man.
Oh, Tony Stark.
I think Tony Stark, and now keep this in mind, I'm not a comic dude. I'm not a comic geek. I started to fall in love with Avengers. I'm sorry, not DC, but
Marvel.
Marvel movies. I just think that they're done so well, and the way they bring this together. And again, this is an outsider here, so I'm learning these characters now. I never read or saw, but Tony Stark as Iron Man. Again, I don't know what Iron Man is supposed to be, but that role is so awesome. You're just like, this guy's lines. He just keeps getting better and better. So sarcastic, but brilliant and funny and like charming at the same time. I mean, I just think that his character's awesome. I could watch 10 Iron Man movies if they made them.
It's the role that Robert Downey Jr. I think was made
born for.
Yeah, he was born for. Not that sounds cliche, but he just the to your point, the sarcasm, but yet like the heroism and just the genius that he puts into that. Like you can see like the different layers of that character through his performance, and
you just like the boldness of him too. Like, you know, in Avengers when like they're on the ship and the Hulk is. What's his name when he's not the Hulk?
Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner. He just goes up and shocks him. He's like,
Anything
sure?
yet?
Yeah. I just think he's just like, I don't know. He's the man.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick. Mine, and I was thinking about putting some characters on there, and there are some honorable mentions. I think Steve Rogers and Captain America, I think, is a great character. And I even think, can't think of the dude's name, Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor. Like, I think Thor is a great character too. But if we're going to talk geek stuff and nerd stuff, for me, there can be only one character, and you guys probably have nothing to say about
Christian
this.
Bale.
No.
Wow.
I'm going to go with Gandalf the Grey from Lord of the Rings. And I just think, again, not that anybody's a huge Lord of the Rings fan here, but I think but myself of the three of us. But there's this guy that kind of like your
This is what I'm
Morpheus.
going to do for this whole...
Well, no, but here's how I'm going to tie it. Here's how I'm going to tie it to
All
you. Think about what Morpheus is for the Matrix.
Okay.
Gandalf is for the movies of Lord of the Rings.
Okay,
So basically, he's the one that explains everything that's going on. He sets people on their path, and he's kind of like the wise person that everybody turns
and he
to.
keeps you like... Very
He's like the
Right.
Dominic Toretto of Middle Earth.
So
Gotcha.
I'll just go.
That's Fast and Furious? Is that okay? Yeah.
I'll just go.
It's like,
I'll
on my
just go
level.
with this. I'll go with this quote. So basically, Frodo says, "I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this would have happened." And Gandalf replies to him, says, "So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for us to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us."
yeah.
And it's just he's just a very wise character, and I think just kind of geek it up a little bit
Yeah,
here.
you
Lord of
have
the Rings, that's my fantasy pick, if you will, from like the high epic fantasy Lord of the Rings. He's amazing in all the Hobbit films and Lord of the Rings, and he also Ian McKellen plays Magneto in the X-Men
Magneto,
movies,
yeah.
so he plays Magneto and he plays Gandalf the Grey.
And he plays.
I got Worms.
I got Worms.
That's all I can contribute to this because I've never seen Lord of the Rings or read it or... So,
Paul Tavares says Downey owns the Stark role. I agree with that.
hell yeah. Who has something to say about that role?
You can't. You can't.
Nails it, dude.
So that was my number 2. So we're on to the finals.
Who again?
Gandalf the Grey.
Gandalf.
You didn't say the epic line though. That's what it was. That's what I was waiting.
You
for.
shall not pass.
But you gotta like.
You do it. Go ahead. You do it better.
You got it.
You shall not pass!
Ow! You shall not hear your eardrums.
So
since they are now broken.
you asked earlier why none of us wear the headphones.
do not wear a headphone around here.
It's for that
What?
reason. It's for that reason.
Ah, cool. You guys see my eardrums anywhere?
We'll get those after the show. Moving on to number 1.
Oh, numero uno.
Number 1.
Please don't steal mine.
Completely guaranteed. None of you guys
Okay.
are even in the same realm as this
No.
because
What genre of movie?
Uh,
Mine's drama.
Mine is drama.
Yours drama.
Oh, sorry. I was. Mine is. What would
We'll get to.
Yeah, I don't even know the.
Okay, so we can't explain.
Like
Action.
Hindi
Okay.
musicals?
No. I kept that one out.
Sound of Music.
Action.
Sound of Music? No.
Homoerotic.
No.
Kevin McAllister.
Oh, Home Alone. Wow, that's actually a pretty good.
Fantastic.
Okay, so my main character loses 2 packs of cigarettes the first night this white pasty banker comes rolling into his prison in, I believe, Maine. So,
Dude, you got me intrigued as hell right
I'd
now.
hope you'd be intrigued because this is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
hands down.
Are we Green Mile in it right now?
No,
Are we-
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, we Shawshanking it. I was gonna say.
Shawshank.
Well, the beginning of that is not in jail, right? The beginning is.
Starts off, he
He
you know, you think
kills
he
his
killed-
wife.
You
Yeah.
think he kills
Yeah,
his
yeah.
wife, but yeah, no, Red. I'm talking about Red. I'm not talking about Andy Dufresne because
I thought he was awesome though.
yeah, but his he had a very very bad bid. That
Oh yeah, that was tough.
especially being innocent on top of it. But Red's like that. Number one, he's a narrator, so
Yeah.
you get to hear everything in the Morgan Freeman voice.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
And
Which is
Andy
always
Dufresne,
amazing. Yeah.
You know, like yeah, but
He was the guy who could get things,
he
right?
could get things, and he got him all the pictures of all the girls.
And never knew what it
Rita
was for.
Hayworth
What a
and-
crazy
yeah.
movie, yeah.
That's it. And he gets him that little hammer. to
The
get
rock
to his
hammer, yep.
freedom. But could you really swim through 5 football fields of shit for freedom?
Wow, I know. I think about that a lot when I watch the movie, and not only that, I know this is weird, but I look at the tunnel he's in. On top of it, I am extremely claustrophobic.
Seriously.
I would get, and I think about that part of it. Once I get like a football field in, I'm like, oh my god, like I can't go backwards.
can't turn
I
around.
can't turn around,
Yeah.
which is I'm a control freak, so that's why I'm claustrophobic. And if I think I'd have to stay in jail for the rest of my life. I wouldn't even care about the shit, bro. It'd be like, it'd be like I can't need to move my
I'd
arms.
be afraid it would splash on my lip. Like, you know
Oh,
what I mean?
at that point, dude, think about it. Once he's 3 football fields in, he's pretty much at one with the poop. He is like part of poop, and it's like, and then they show a couple scenes of him puking. And my favorite scene from that movie though, because the first, you know, you always wish you'd go back and watch it the first time,
Yeah.
is when he opens the warden opens the poster, and it's like. And you see the hole he's dug the whole time, the whole
he,
10 or
like-
whatever years he's in there.
He like finger blasts the poster. He's like,
Yeah.
Hey.
And as the audience, you're like, "What's going on?" I'm just as confused as the warden right now. And when they show that, then they go right into what happened the whole
Yeah.
time. How he used to walk outside and let go of the rocks. That's a brilliant movie.
Dude, I hate getting sand in my bathing suit. like trucking like rocks down my legs.
He didn't
It's not
care,
really
man.
for me.
He's doing whatever he could to get out of there.
That's it.
And then it was an episode of Family Guy, by the way, because you know how he says, "Red, if I ever get out of here, make sure you meet me at this place, this location." And the guy's like, wouldn't that be like a Walmart by now?" How do you know that? You know that? Yeah, no. How do you know that place would still be here? That was all right. So here's my my number one, which I think when I tell you guys, you're both gonna be like, like that's where, yeah. But for me, it was amazing. This was a villain in a movie.
The Lawnmower Man?
No,
I don't know.
no, he's a close second. This was a villain in a movie that we all looked at this actor and said, "No way," and he did it, and you're like, "Holy, this is better than the one in the '90s."
O.J. Simpson.
No,
Damn.
this is the Joker.
Oh yeah.
Hello, the Dark Knight. The role's so good it actually made him
Killed
take
him.
pills and killed him.
Yeah.
Pretty much killed him.
Heath Ledger version of the Joker.
So I got obviously everyone was like, this is the best performance ever. You got to go see it. Can't wait. People are saying all this stuff about it. So my hopes were way up. I went and watched it. I was like, it was good. But when I had to watch it the second time to really, and then the third and fourth and fifth. And what this guy did, I don't know if you guys know this, but he's stuck in a hotel room for a month. So he left his family. He went to a hotel room for a month where he just kept a journal, no TV or anything. And his journal was, he was the Joker.
Yeah.
So they actually have that journal. And ironically, it says like "bye-bye" the last page, which is, let's not get into that. But anyway, he went in there and just looked in the mirror and tried to perfect the Joker. And it drove him mad because he became that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He would never break character. He sat alone for a month in a hotel, and you saw it because on screen, it was remarkable what that guy did. I honestly had no clue it was even, what's his name?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Until like I had to look it up, like I didn't even know, and you still don't notice it. He nailed that.
That's the guy from 10 Things I Hate
I
About You.
know.
A
and
Knight's
and
Tale.
Brokeback Mountain, but yeah, he was. I think the Joker was I'm infatuated with watching The Dark Knight because of just watching his movements, the way he speaks, and all that. So mine goes to the Joker.
That's a great pick. Two things. First, I want to touch upon yours. Beth says that claustrophobia comes before the stench, as far as.
Oh, with her, definitely.
So that, and then going back to the Joker, that scene where he blows up the hospital. I think that was like an ad lib when he like kind of
It was ad lib. So he was. I don't know why I did so much research on this movie, but he was. There's a scene where he's like, and then it just blows up, and he's dressed as a nurse, by the way, at this point, and he's just like. So I guess when he did hit the button, it was supposed to demo, and it didn't, and so he just was like, and then it went off, and he just went like that, and that was all ad libbed, and it was beautiful.
Yep.
It couldn't have been, and just like the scene where he's at night, he's going. I think he's following. They're getting chased, or he's chasing somebody. He sticks his head out of the passenger side of like the big rig.
the squad guy, yeah.
And his hair's going. It's just, dude, that dude was insane.
Great, that's absolutely. So mine's gonna be totally different. So this is gonna be interesting. Mine is drama, and it's an actor that I think we all love. He's like America's sweetheart.
Brian song, is that the movie Brian song?
No. This quote is referring to the Apple company, Apple Computer. Lieutenant Dan got me invested in some kind of fruit company.
Obviously, gave it
Right.
away from the
Right.
first.
Best movies.
Right.
That was gonna be on my list.
So then I got a call from him saying we don't have to worry about money no more. And I said, that's good. One less thing. And then obviously, stupid is as stupid does. Life is like a box of chocolates.
Peas and carrots.
And then my favorite quote, Mama always said dying was a part of life. I sure wish it wasn't. And it's just Tom Hanks is Forrest Gump.
I can't believe I forgot about that.
Such a great movie.
He's probably the best
He's-
character we've mentioned here.
Yeah, I just love that movie. I love his character. I love Tom Hanks, the way he played it. I just, I think Tom Hanks is just, an all around, he's typically America's sweetheart as far as actors go.
He did his own thing there. Like whoever even wrote the movie didn't know it was going to come out. He was going to play it like that. It was just.
Because the movie could have been like super cheesy too, with like all the stuff that he had his hands in, like, he gets shot, he went to Vietnam or whatever, and
Met 3 presidents.
right, all that stuff. It's like it could have been.
Inspired the bumper sticker, the T-shirt. That movie is incredible. That's a history lesson right there. For
Yeah.
any kid
Yeah.
who's too lazy to go sit and pay attention in class.
There's
pay
a lot
attention.
of facts in
You know
there.
what I mean? Enough to get you like interested to be like, oh, I'd like to know a little more about this, or the Black Panther movement, or like
Yeah.
the freaking.
Them nights on the
Nixon
Black
getting-
Panther party. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I can
And
think in my head.
you're right too, Jeff. Is like there's some ridiculous things in that movie where if it wasn't done right, you'd be like, "This is so stupid." You actually don't even think about the fact that he ran across country. Like it's
Right.
obviously not possible, but you don't even. You just get so captured within that movie and that character that you're like,
Yeah.
whatever.
And then even that part. So he started this whole movement. People started running with him, and then he stopped. He's just like, I'm kind of tired. I'll go home now.
I didn't feel like running no
Yeah.
more.
Like, you know what I mean? That could have been done so cheap. But it's
Yeah.
again that performance, that the way his
Ping pong
inflections.
World champion, like everything, like that it touched on was really good.
That was That's a
They're supposed
great
to come out
number
with
one.
a part 2 to that. That's one of those movies. Like, thank God you stood away from.
What a sequel?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yeah, you wouldn't have. Yeah, that'd be.
It's impossible. Like
Yeah.
that's you don't.
Oh my God! Wait.
Did you
Really
forget
quick,
one?
I'm gonna speed through this as quick as I can.
Give it
This
to
was supposed to tie in. Red, amazing character, but number 1 really should have been this for me. Oh my God, the dude from Seven, Morgan Freeman in the movie Seven.
Okay,
that
yeah.
character is perfect.
Great.
That whole end scene, like, what's in the box? Put your gun down.
What's in
like,
the box?
you know?
Yeah, it's your
Oh,
wife's head,
that's-
sir.
That was supposed to be my number
That's
1,
okay.
but then I started thinking Morgan Freeman. I was like Shawshank Redemption, and I started typing, and
So Morgan Freeman in Seven.
just Morgan.
Just
Freeman
Morgan
in
Freeman,
general.
in
yeah,
general.
whatever he
You know
does.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if he wants to play God, he can play God.
Which
Bruce,
he did.
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce
Yeah, that's what
Almighty.
I mean.
And he was great at it.
Yeah.
It was yeah. He is a
Dude, he
man.
played the principal in that crazy movie where he beats on the kids. Like,
Shoot.
Pick your pants up, boy. What do you think this is?
Wasn't he in? Was he in
Lean
Wanted?
on Me was in that
Lean
movie.
on Me. That's the one.
That's the movie. All right. Yeah.
Wanted? Was he in Wanted?
No.
Yes,
he was.
He was the leader of the.
He's had a lot of good roles.
Shout out to you, Morgan Freeman.
Shout out,
you
man.
inspired.
Who's
this
clearly
segment.
watching this? Right
Well,
now.
He
actually, there's another.
He's an
There's a
avid
Scott.
watcher.
There's a Scott Medeiros that's watching. It said that Tom Hanks nailed Big too.
Who the hell is this Scott Medeiros? Is he Scott Medeiros used to work at a software company,
Possibly.
or is this someone?
I can't read Johnny Leather's comment, but
Oh, Johnny Leather.
that's funny. Violet Rose says Robin Williams, What Dreams May Come. Another great movie.
Yeah, that was a great movie depicting death and what like the afterlife and heaven is like.
Hashtag Morgan Freeman. Oh my God, John Veris, Simple Jack. I swear to God, you never go full on retard. That's what I was gonna say when he was talking about Forrest Gump. Oh my God.
Okay, well then you know what? Since we're already kind of dragging the bottom of the dredge here, Johnny Leathers, Forrest Gump, or as I like to call it, whore who takes advantage of a retard.
Oh my God, Jenny.
What, Jenny?
Jenny
was the
blackface and
worst,
carrots.
dude. She's like, oh my God.
Jenny gave him AIDS. that is never brought up in the movie. Jenny gave Forrest Gump AIDS.
Willingly and knowingly.
Seriously.
She is
and
the
then dumped
worst.
the kid on him.
Oh my God, yeah.
Poor Forrest. That's why a sequel was never made.
That's it,
Yeah.
man.
Because he actually, yeah, it was he.
He was named after a great general. You
Actually, there
guys
was a
know that,
sequel.
right?
It was called Philadelphia.
That's so wrong.
By the way, there's a funny scene in there that me and Joe always laugh about. Is Denzel's in so Denzel is in Philadelphia is what's the word I'm looking for, is defending
Public defense.
Tom Hanks, right? He's defending him, right? Yeah, he's defending him. Anyway, so he's defending a gay man with AIDS. And then he goes into a supermarket, and some gay guy's like, because he notices him from being on a trial. He's like, "Hey, so what are you doing later?" And he's like, "Get away from me, faggy ass bitch." I've never heard that phrase before, faggoty ass bitch, and I had to give it some credit. Yeah, so yeah, there's definitely rated R this episode.
Yeah, well,
Sorry.
and Beth says, and you guys were worried about F-bombs. Yeah,
That shit went out
a
the
little too
window.
late. And I want to just give a quick shout out to Kirby from the Whatever Bro podcast
Hey,
as well.
baby.
I love Kirby, but she said Tom Hanks nailed every movie and Castaway. Of
What,
course.
where he's in a movie by himself for 2
Again.
hours? That not many actors can do that
Nope.
and carry a movie
Oh,
like that
man.
on an island. One scene by yourself for 2 hours. Killed it. Tom Hanks is a beast.
I
Crazy.
think I would just drink a lot of salt water.
Yeah, and I'd die. I'd
Yeah.
die easy.
Like, realistically, in my head, I'm like, oh, I would love to try to survive. I would be so miserable that I would just be like, you know what? Let's just drink this salt water, get dehydrated, go to sleep.
And I'd be like, Don, it's been 45 minutes. What are you talking about?
45? I thought it was 15. Damn. Get me out of the sun. I'm white. I'm pasty.
I'd be screwed. I'd go for I'd burn. I'd get a sunburn and die. That's what I would do.
Go on the other side of the island. There's a Walgreens right
Yeah,
there. I mean,
yeah. Oh, okay. There's a Burger King over there. Good. I'm good.
Well, that's a great.
Kinda
list,
off the
guys.
rails,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. But this is what it's all about. Is leading discussion. Any other characters off the top of your head before we kind of tie a bow on this, as they say?
I think I wrote a couple. Let me make sure I mentioned everyone. I think I got. Oh, there was one I had. There's two actually. Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
I think was
Good.
fantastic, remarkable, and the amount of lines he had in that movie.
Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction, too.
Absolutely, everybody in
in
Pulp
Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction.
Yeah, just the scene at the end though with Samuel L. Jackson. He is and him and John Travolta play great off each other. But when they're in that thing and he's explaining just the most minuscule thing about like anything, and he can just and then he's like, I'm gonna go take a shit. He's basically just talking about that when they got shot, he thought it was God, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was Edward Norton in American History X. I think was outrageous because he is this little skinny nerd, good actor who got juiced up and played a new age like not KKK, but he was he was a racist and it was just that movie was very powerful. But I thought he brought like a performance where you're like, I think Edward Norton's actually racist. Like that's how good he did. That's all I had. That I didn't
I was
mention.
thinking the two main leads in Fight Club. I can't pick.
Oh, jeez.
That's perfect.
Wonderful.
How about, what's his name? The Butcher in Gangs of New York.
Oh,
Leonardo
man.
DiCaprio in Gangs of New York.
Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio and What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Two very different movies,
Yeah.
but just
That's full on retard, which he
Yeah.
nailed.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Awesome. He finally got his award for that. Was that the one he finally got his award for? I believe. Oh no,
I
it
don't
was no, it was the one in the wilderness that he just did.
The Reverend.
The Revenant.
That
yeah.
movie's extremely long, but it was good.
I liked it. I can only watch it like once or twice. Then I'm like, I'm good. But Tom Hardy, I think, was the bad guy, and he played a good one.
yeah. That's.
We
I
all
think
watch
that's-
a lot of movies.
Yeah, we do watch a lot of movies. We geek out on movies.
we do. And
So
now
now-
one Denzel Washington.
I know. I was
Training Day.
waiting for that. I was
Training Day.
waiting.
Oh,
I had him on a list, but it
that- I
wasn't better
mean,
than what I said. Training Day.
That character's incredible.
Yeah. Can't say that word anyway.
I didn't know you like to get wet.
What do you mean? PCP. Butt naked.
You're getting boogie down.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is good.
And John
Well-
Rivera's throwing out Chucky.
One
Chucky's
movie
another-
made our list. One,
Yeah.
You did
Well,
2 weeks
what
of
was it?
women shows.
We did 2 weeks. Yeah, we did. But again, I mentioned Linda Hamilton as
Yeah.
Sarah Connor again. Yeah,
I
there's-
had Sharon Stone. Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh, that's one woman. That's what you said. Oh,
yeah,
right,
I thought you were saying Wonder Woman at first, and I
No,
was
no,
like,
no. I'm trying to give an amazing. You know what?
well, we got people commenting out there
guys
too.
got? What
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
I mean, Beth is saying Leonardo in every movie.
Except Titanic.
That might start a war. I don't know.
I'll
trying to
tell,
think other,
I'll tell
like-
you, Halle Berry is a very, 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 very good actress. She's actually
Monster.
Yeah.
Swordfish.
No, was it Monster? No, was it? I
Swordfish
forget.
Monsters
too.
Ball.
Monsters Ball. That's what it was. She
Yeah.
was good in
Billy
that.
Bob.
The one I liked
Charlize.
her in, actually, I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was a couple of years ago. She plays a 911 operator.
Yo, with the girl in the trunk. That's a WWE movie. Did you see that?
No, I
The
didn't see
movie's
that.
fantastic, and it was all Halle Berry who kept the
Yeah.
movie alive because this girl gets kidnapped, but her like passion for finding this girl, Halle Berry's a bad bitch when it comes on.
She's
playing
awesome.
you. She's
She's
great, and
awesome.
she gets naked in one movie. I believe it's Swordfish.
Yeah. Now
And
if you
wow.
saw it, it looked like
Have you seen Monsters Ball?
She's butt naked in there. She bangs Billy Bob. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just like it in Swordfish better because it's just soft
Yeah.
core
Yeah,
top.
Yeah.
when they're standing
Titties
up
out,
too.
yeah.
They're not like
Yeah.
droopy raisins.
I don't like watching anyone bang Billy Bob Thornton, so kind of
That's very true.
They were together in real life, weren't they?
That I don't know.
He was with somebody high.
Angelina Jolie.
That's who I'm thinking.
Angelina
Oh, that's
Jolie
right.
in Wanted was one badass.
She was
chick.
awesome, yeah.
I'd like to see her go up against Charlize Theron and
Yeah.
Aeon Flux. I'd like
Yeah.
to see throw Trinity from the Matrix in there. You know what I mean? I want an all-out cat fight battle royale of the baddest females in the world, and
She's in Tomb Raider too, right?
she's
Yeah,
in
Tomb
too.
Raider.
Yeah.
She's a great actress too, and
She is.
I want to. If we're talking actresses, I can't think of any like big roles, but Meryl Streep is also another
What about
very talented
Yep.
Sigourney Weaver in Alien?
Sigourney
She
Weaver.
was awesome. How about in Ghostbusters? I remember her from Ghostbusters.
Oh, the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Is she the gatekeeper?
No,
or is
no, she's part two. The
I
gate.
am the gatekeeper.
No,
Sorry,
that
is she the key? I can't remember.
no. I think the ghoul thing goes inside of her, right?
Right.
No,
Doesn't it?
Oh yeah. but
she opens a
one
fridge.
One of them's called the gatekeeper, and the other one
I
is
forget.
I am the messenger. I am the gatekeeper.
Oh, yeah.
And then they
Ghostbusters too.
make that little baby.
That was the joint.
Yeah, it was that, and
Vigo's
actually,
Ghostbusters.
Peter Venkman was also one of my honorable mention characters
Any
as well.
well, you know what? Some of my honorable mentions were I believe his name was Tallahassee in Zombie World.
Oh,
is-
Zombieland. You mean? Tallahassee was that Woody?
Woody.
Woody
Yep.
Harrelson, fantastic.
Bill Murray in almost anything that I've actually sat like, 'cause I still haven't watched like St. Vincent. There's like a few movies out there that I won't watch because it just
He's a
not-
legend.
But Bill Murray kills it. Like
Yeah, he's a legend.
effortlessly kills it.
He was in the movie Scrooged, which I watched all the
Scrooge, I
time.
own on DVD. There are
Great.
three
Awesome.
Christmas movies that I love.
That's
Scrooge
one of
is
them.
one of them. National Lampoon's Christmas and completely weird Nicolas Cage movie, Family Man.
Yeah, never saw it.
Really, no, it's like one of those like
Scrooge.
you see
yeah.
a glimpse of what your life could have been like on Christmas type deal.
This has been a really good show.
Merry Christmas.
Really,
everyone.
really good show.
Yeah.
Christmas in June.
So before we get out of here, Scotty, anything else you want to plug? I mean, obviously, Whatever Bro podcast.
No, Whatever Bro podcast is on Mondays at 6:30. Here's our sound
seven,
guy.
seven.
It's at 7. Here's our sound guy and manager.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I keep
roadie.
things on
And
track.
writer.
So check that. Rick Moranis is the key master. Thank you, John.
Oh, Rick Moranis. Yes,
So, yeah, anything, Whatever Bro Films, still have all their videos out there. Go check them
yeah,
out.
see some comedy, whateverbrofilms.com, whatever bro. Just type whatever bro into Google. You'll see a lot of stuff come up. You want
Tons
to
of
see
skits. and-
bloopers from skits are the best. When I'm having a bad day, it's the only stuff I watch of myself is the bloopers of Joe and I. It's us messing up. So whatever bro bloopers will literally lift your spirits, cure your depression.
I gotta say, I've had so many people dying for the Fall River guy interview.
Oh yeah.
I've met him for a long time.
What, this guy?
That's the guy right
yeah,
there.
that's
you know.
him. Yeah. Yeah, no, I got like 6 drills, so I'm cool.
I pawned all my drills personally.
Yeah,
but I got
well, you-
screwdrivers.
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
you
It's
needed
pretty
pills,
crazy.
right? Am I right? Yeah, you needed pills.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm on the clinic now, so it's
I'm on the Free You Geek podcast, so you know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
loan me $5.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
a guy just called me. A friend of mine called me today. Said he was in Worcester, and a cop was like, "Hey, you from Fall River?" He goes, "Hey, you know this kid? Rise like it's my brother. Yeah, of course. So
That's
it
crazy.
travels around. Yeah, it's cool. I think it's stupid personally,
Hey.
but it's like
It resonates with people,
It
man.
works. So I just
Especially if you listen to people in Fall River talk.
Sounds just like
you.
you, yeah.
You nailed it.
Balkan.
So when do I get free donuts with this
Yeah,
job?
like, so donuts free or? Yeah, job interview is good. 4 of a job interview. Check that out. You'll like it. Put that up anyway.
And we were talking about Christmas movies. They have their own Christmas album, Whatever Bro Christmas album.
yeah, put that in. It's not a real album. It's just like a commercial for one.
Yeah, it's like when you watch one of those old like pitches, like on this album, look at all
Whitney
the
Houston.
compilations.
Like the thing
We have
going
that.
down?
Yeah, whatever, bro. Christmas. Put that in. You'll love
There's
it.
some good stuff.
It's basically like me and him play like just. I don't even know how to describe. that
There-
video.
yeah,
It's a mess. Dude.
it's
Watch
a
it.
mess, but it's hilarious.
It's a
It's
beautiful
hilarious.
mess.
There's some good stuff. Again, mature audiences only.
Yes.
Don, you want to do all the other shout out stuff that we typically do? Because
Check
Kevin's not
out
here.
covers of the week on the Free Your Geek Facebook page.
That's correct.
Covers of the week are from Marvel and DC comic books
Yes,
coming out this week.
Every Wednesday, I do DC. Every Wednesday, KB does Marvel. We post our favorite covers on the Free Your Geek page. We also have Twitter, Instagram, Free Your Geek on both of those. We have a website, J Free the Geek. Don, I want to kind of talk about, you're wearing a shirt right now. It says Targaryen. So what are we doing next week? What are we planning on doing next week? Let's set this table for next week's show.
The long-awaited episode of Game of Thrones.
We're going to be
Free
doing
your geek.
We're going
The
to be
new
doing
season?
seasons 1 through 3
Ah.
in preparation. We're ramping up.
For the
The season 7's coming in a couple of weeks, so we're going to do seasons 1 through 3 next week, 4 through 6 the week after, and then we get a week off. We're going to be checking out Spider-Man: Homecoming, coming back with the other half of Whatever Bro films, Whatever Bro podcast. Joe Amaral
Oh, he's gonna be joining you.
will be here to be talking about the Spider-Man movie.
He
after
knows
we've
about the
seen it.
Marvel
Is he coming with us or?
He's not coming with us, but we'll
be ready.
we'll
He'll be
check that
ready.
out. So you want to hit him with the catchphrases, dude?
Start the weekend with your geek friends and get your geek on.
Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Don. We'll see you guys around.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.